Next is binary operator overloading. It is clear from the name, binary operator overloading. It is clear from the name that there will be two operands, A and B, and single operator. This is called binary operator overloading. Now in this program, we are going to overload this plus operator, which is used to add two simple variables. The same add operation can be performed on two objects also. It will add two objects. Now let's see how it will work. Class complex. We have created a class complex. You know that in a complex number, there are two components, float, a real component and imaginary component. And we have taken their data type as float. Okay. And in the public section, we have declared the default constructor complex, real, 0 and imaginary 0. We have assigned them values 0. And thereafter, we have created a function for taking input from the user input, where user will give input of real and imaginary parts, enter real and imaginary parts respectively, C in real, C in imaginary. And then this is a special operator overloaded function. How to use it? Overloading of plus operator. See, what will it do? This is return type complex. It is same as that of the class name, because we will return an object, and object is of type complex. So here we'll write in place of return type complex, operator plus, and then in the parentheses we'll give single argument complex ampersand obj. In case of binary operator overloading, we need to give a single argument or parameter, which is necessary. You can skip this const. It will also work if you don't write const. Const stands for constant, and then complex ampersand opj. And this is the operator which we are going to overload, plus operator. If we are going to overload minus operator, subtraction, I will write here minus symbol, subtraction symbol. Okay. And then for adding the variables, corresponding elements, we'll create another object, complex temp, and then we'll write temp.real is equal to real plus obj real. See what will happen over here. I will explain you this part later on. First, see how to make a call to this function, how it will be expanded. I will explain you this part after that. Then it will be more clear to you. In the output section, we will just display the output. Output complex number is real, imaginary I. If imaginary is less than 0, then this, otherwise it will display the result this. This is just output to display the appropriate answer. And then we'll close the class. In the main section, we have created different objects. See, complex class, and we have created object complex 1, complex 2, and result. See, we have created default constructor above, because here we have created objects. Whenever an object is created, then automatically default constructor is called and the values are assigned to 0. Real 0, imaginary 0 in all these three cases. And after that, we are going to take input from the user. And how to take it? Enter first complex number. We'll take the input complex 1 dot input. The input function that we have created will be called. The control will go over here to the input function over here, and it will take input of real and imaginary for the object complex 1. Similarly, another call will be made for complex 2 to the input function. You can see from here complex 2 dot input. Fine. So both inputs are taken. Now we are going to add these two objects, complex 1 and complex 2. Just like we add two simple variables, here we are going to add two objects, complex 1 and complex 2. I'm writing in short C1 plus C2. These are complex 1 plus complex 2. How to do it? Result is equal to complex 1 plus complex 2. See, whenever this statement will be executed, it will be converted to result is equal to complex 1 dot operator plus, and in parentheses there will be complex 2. Okay, this statement is expanded like this: complex 1 dot operator plus complex 2. So this statement is expanded like this: complex 1 will be the calling object and then dot operator, and then we'll write operator plus, which is the overloading function, which is a syntax for overloading function, operator plus, and in parentheses we will pass complex 2 as argument. Only one object will be passed as argument. That is why over here it is written as, here it is written as complex ampersand obj. That means this complex function, this complex 2 object is copied over here and complex 1 is calling object. So when we will add these, how they will be added? Complex temp dot real is equal to real. This real belongs to complex 1. This is complex 1 plus C2 dot real, because we can change the name. Here obj is written, here complex 2. You know that these are formal parameters and these are actual parameters and these are formal parameters. So you can change the name. You know that this value is copied to obj. So that means this obj dot real belongs to C2 dot real and this real belongs to complex 1. Similarly, imaginary parts will be added. Here complex 1 imaginary part and here complex 2 imaginary part will be added. Let me clean the screen. So real, whatever user give the input. Suppose user has given 10 for real and 20 for imaginary for C1, and in case of C2 he has given 30 and 40. Then real part will be added with real, C1 will be added with C2's real, and then it will become 40. After that imaginary 20, 40. Answer will be 60. So this is copied to temp imaginary and temp real, and then we will return temp. Then this temp will be returned from where the call was occurred. Call was occurred over here, result. Then that temp value will be copied to result, and then we will see the output, result dot output, and we can see the result 40 plus 60i, because corresponding values of real and imaginary are added. So this is how binary plus operator can be overloaded. Now let's see the output once. Let's see the output. It is asking for enter real and imaginary parts respectively. So I'm entering 10, 20 for complex number 1, and then 30, 40 for complex number 2. And now the output is 40 plus 60i. That I have make you understand. Answer is 40 plus 60i. 10 is added to 30, 20 is added to 40, and we got the answer 40 plus 60i. Basically, we need to add corresponding elements with each other, and this is called overloading of plus operator. You need to understand this part only thoroughly. Similarly, if you want to overload minus operator, you will replace it with minus, 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 minus. Similarly, another operation of multiplication can be performed also. Okay, so this is all about binary operator overloading. Apart from that, other operators can also be overloaded, like less than, greater than, relational operators, bitwise operators, etc. can also be overloaded. And in case of unary operators, increment, decrement operators can also be overloaded. I hope you understand.